Want to know my top brands that are selling on Poshmark? Stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be about my top 10 brands that are selling on Poshmark. If you're new here, my name is Andrea and I'm a fashion reseller on sites like Poshmark, eBay, Mercari, and Facebook. And I basically teach you how to sell other people's junk and make money. Also, this is a collab video, so please check out the other channels linked down below because everyone sells different stuff, and my top brands are not going to be your top brands. You got to work with what you have in your area. Okay, so I actually have like 3 categories that are tying, so I could not do my top 10 brands. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's going to be 12 brands because 3 of those categories are actually tied. Okay, no big surprise. My number 1 selling brand is actually Free People, and it sets at like 28%. And actually, there's hardly any Free People in my area. I do source it from consignment stores. I do kind of pay up for it. And sometimes I catch some online sales at like Macy's, Von Maur, Nordstrom Rack, and buy those items and have them shipped to my house. My second most selling brand is Anthropologie, and that is kind of the same thing. I don't live near an Anthropologie store. There's only like 1 or 2 in the state of Indiana, so I do most of those brands by sourcing at higher end department stores and watching for their sales and having them come to my home. Okay, for the third category, I actually have a 3-way tie at 3%. So for the third one, I actually have a 3-way tie between 3 brands. The 3-way tie is between American Eagle, Lucky Brand, and Victoria's Secret. Now, American Eagle, I only do well with their jeans and shorts. I don't really do well with their t-shirts and their sweaters and stuff like that. Lucky Brand is kind of the same thing. I do well with their jeans. I do well with their graphic tees. If there's anything interesting on them, those will sell from Lucky Brand. And Victoria's Secret, I'm really surprised is on this list, but then I thought about it. And even though I mostly sell those on Mercari and Facebook, I sell a lot of their bras on Poshmark. So that is probably why it is on the list, is for the bras. And then my 4th items are also a 3-way tie between Vintage, Urban Outfitters, and DKNY. These items all tied for 2%. I sell such a variety of brands. That's kind of like where it's sat. Vintage, I mostly get the spell out graphic tees or like something that's embroidered that looks interesting to me. Urban Outfitters, I do pick up a lot. It does better for me on Mercari, but anything that looks interesting, I definitely will pick that up. DKNY in there is actually because I bought a pellet last year on Macy's website, and almost half of it was like Free People, and then the rest of the stuff, there was quite a majority of DKNY. It doesn't sell very well for me on Poshmark, so I wouldn't recommend like you actually picking it up to source it. I sell it better on eBay, but the reason that that brand is in here is because I have a lot of it listed in my closet. Okay, and then for the 5th tie is actually between 4 brands. These brands actually tied for 1.6%. So Madewell is getting harder to sell. I think it's getting more saturated and more common to find. The second brand is Chaser, which Chaser, I only get graphic tees. If it is a plain shirt, I would stay away from that because they actually are being sold at Sam's Club, which, you know, is a partner with Walmart. So their waffle knits and their plain shirts, I would stay away from those. I only get the graphic tees, and sometimes I source those at our local TJ Maxx. They are often on clearance there. Last 2 brands are actually Athleta and Lululemon. I have a lot of Lululemon tank tops that have sat for a long time, but if I get leggings or something with a cool print, it usually sells right away for me. That is my top brands that sell for me on Poshmark. Okay guys, so I gotta be honest, I completely forgot one of the brands. This is about 5 hours later from the original part that I filmed. When I was editing it and making the charts, I forgot that one of the brands that tied with the other brands and last place was Tory Burch. Now, Tory Burch is hard to find in my area, and I usually pay up for these items at a particular consignment store, and that's the only way I'm able to get them and sell them. And they are my highest profitable item also for the year. So I needed to make sure that I added this little clip in there because that brand has been my most profitable item. And then I kind of just wanted to go over some regular data with you guys. Poshmark actually provides this data and you can look it up regionally. So I am just going to go over them really quick and put in a list of the items. So for women, the most common selling brands are number 1, Lululemon, 2, Nike, which I was super surprised because I never sell anything Nike on Poshmark. I always sell that on Mercari. 3rd is Free People. 4 is Victoria's Secret. 5 is Coach. 6 is Victoria's Secret again, but for Victoria's Secret pink. 7 is American Eagle. 8 is J. Crew. 9 is UGG. And 10 is Michael Kors, which Michael Kors for me, I hold on to it forever. There was a lot of that in my palette too. Men, which I don't sell a lot of men's stuff unless it's something that my brother or my husband gave me. The number 1 selling brand in men is Nike. Number 2 is Adidas. 3 is Polo Ralph Lauren. 4 is Under Armour. 5 is Jordans. 6 is Levi's. 7 is North Face. 8 is Lululemon. 9 is Patagonia. And 10 is NFL logo t-shirts. Top 10 selling home item brands are number 1, Rae Dunn, which that surprises me because it's so saturated, but maybe it's so saturated that it makes it the number 1 brand. Vintage. 3, Disney. 4, Starbucks mugs. 5, Hallmark, which I'm assuming is probably ornaments. 6, Anthropologie. 7, Bath and Body. 8, Pottery Barn. 9, Pure One. And 10 is Kate Spade. So hopefully that will help you if you're sourcing for those items. There is also a top 10 listed on Poshmark's newsletter for high-end, and I am not mentioning that because I don't sell high-end and I don't know enough about it to say I agree or disagree with the list. But I would say that the top 10 brands listed are actually the most common that I sell for the most part. Leave some comments down below. Do you know your top 10 brands? Do you pay for statistics to know what brands are selling for you better? Just go off your gut feeling of what you source. Hopefully this information can help you determine what to do in the future.